Welcome to part 2 of 3 in editing features of the Helix, and today we're going to be talking all about snapshots. I'm going to press my mode button to get out of this screen, and now I'm on a screen where I have presets across the top, snapshots on the bottom. So I have snapshot 1, snapshot 2, snapshot 3, snapshot 4. But if you watch the screen, when I switch between them, they don't really do anything. Everything stays the same. So what I would like to do is set up snapshot 1 as my core dirty rhythm sound and snapshot 2 as my clean tone. So I'm on snapshot 1. I want this to be my dirty rhythm. So let's press mode to get back to my stomps. And of course, for my dirty rhythm, I want my distortion to be turned on. So now I'm on snapshot 1. My distortions are on. I'm going to switch over to snapshot 2. Nothing changed. But I'm going to go into my snapshot mode here by pressing that button, and I'm going to turn my dirt pedals off. Switch back to my main screen. I got snapshot 1 and snapshot 2. Switch to snapshot 1. You notice the drive pedals came on. Switch to snapshot 2. Drive pedals turned off and the chorus turned on. So now I have my basic dirty rhythm tone and my basic clean tone. If we look at this Fullerton amp model here, we can see its drive is on 2. Its drive bright is on 9. That's probably pretty dirty. What I would like to do is reduce these drives. Now the drive is at 9.2. Maybe for my clean tone, I want the drive at 1. If I switch back to my dirty preset, the drive stayed at 1. That's not awesome, right? So here's a quick little tip for you. These knobs right under there are also buttons. If I push that button, you see it'll switch back to 9.2. So if you ever screw up your settings a whole bunch, you're like, oh man, I liked it better when I first brought it up, just push these buttons. You see they all switch back to the default values that they were when you first brought up the amp. We're at our core drive settings. We want to set it to a level that's appropriate for clean. So I'm going to switch over to the snapshot for my clean channel, which is snapshot 2. The key here will be to push down as I turn. So if I have my drive at 9.2 and I want it to be less for my clean tone, I'm going to push in on that button and start to turn it. Now something magical happened here. It has these white brackets around it and the number turned white. I don't have to hold down on it anymore. Now I can just set it to what I want for my clean tone. These white brackets around it mean that it is now controlled by snapshots. So if I move back here a little bit, watch that drive setting as I switch snapshots to my dirty snapshot, you see it goes back up to 9.2. Switch to my clean snapshot, goes back to 1.8. Now if I don't like that, if I want to change it, I can certainly go back to my drive channel. Again, once it has the white brackets, I don't have to hold this down anymore while I turn it. I can just set it and say, well, that's still a little bit much for my drive channel. I'll just roll it back to 7.1. And now, switching between my snapshots will go from 1.8 to 7.1. And you can also see that my drive pedals and my chorus pedals are also changing along with me here. So that's pretty great. Let's save that preset right there. It's going to stay Coup Preset 2. So you can either press save here or you can press save again here. Either way, it's going to save the preset fully. Let's say I also want a lead snapshot. And I want my lead snapshot to also be dirty. So I want it to be similar to my snapshot 1. Right now, if I go to snapshot 3, it's really just a copy. It looks like a copy of the clean snapshot. If I switch back to snapshot 1 and go to snapshot 3, you notice, weird, it stayed the same as snapshot 1. Basically, snapshot 3 is uninitialized. So when you switch to snapshot 3, nothing is going to change versus where you are to start with. So I want my snapshot 3 to be like snapshot 1. So I want to copy snapshot 1 over to snapshot 3. In order to copy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly touch snapshot 1, then I'm going to tap snapshot 3 and let go of them. So watch the screen and watch my hands as I do that. Touch, tap, let go. Copy, yes. I do want to copy it. So now we look, we see snapshot 1, snapshot 1. Now when I switch from snapshot 2 to snapshot 3, you can see that my snapshot 3 retains my dirty settings. Let's put a little bit of delay on this lead channel as well. So let's just grab a delay pedal. I'll just leave it as simple delay. We'll put it after the amp, but here we go. So let's switch back. I use the mode switch to get back into stomp mode. Let's assign this by lightly resting our finger and pressing OK. Now we can turn the delay on and off with this foot switch. So we have our delay added, but of course you can see it's on in every snapshot. And that's not really what I want. I only want it to be on in this snapshot. So I'm going to switch over to snapshot 2, press bypass, it turns off. Switch over to snapshot 1, press bypass, it turns off. Now, snapshot 1, it's off, 2, it's on, off, 3, it's on. So that's how I can get my lead tone to have that extra delay on it. Now, if I want to, maybe I want my lead tone to also have a little bit of an extra goose. So let's switch over to my drive pedal. Now remember, if I just turn this on, it's now going to be on every snapshot. So what I want to do is hold it down and turn it so that it gets these white brackets around it. And now I've only turned it on per snapshot. So it's on, off, off. So that's how I can make my lead snapshot, add a delay, and also turn on the boost function of my Kinky Boost pedal. We have our 3 snapshots here. They're just named snapshots 1, 2, and 3. I'm probably not going to remember that 1 is rhythm, 2 is clean, and 3 is lead. So I need to rename these. So let's go back to snapshot 1. So to rename, I'm going to push down on the preset knob like it's a button. I'll get to this screen. We can see rename snapshot here. I'm going to push on it like it's a button. And now I have the names here. So snapshot 1, that is my dirty channel. So I'm just going to put on here dirt. And then let's delete the rest of these. I'll save that. Now I'm going to switch over to snapshot 2, which I could do with this knob right here. You can see it switches through all the snapshots. I'm going to switch to snapshot 2, press rename, and we're just going to call that sucker CLN, and then I'll delete all the rest of it, save it. Now I'm going to switch over to snapshot 3, which is my lead tone. Remember, it was copied from snapshot 1. So I'll go in here and we'll just change that to LEAD. Delete all those and save it. I'll press my home button to get back to my main screen here. And you can see now I have my dirt snapshot, my clean snapshot, and my lead snapshot. I want my dirty snapshot to be right beside my lead snapshot and my clean snapshot to be over here. There's an easy way to do that. What I'm going to do is rest my fingers lightly on these two, because these are the two that I want to switch. So I'm going to rest my fingers on there. Menu comes up. Do you want to swap these two? I'm going to say yes. And now you can see they switched places. The next thing I like is I don't just want them to be named appropriately, but I use a color coding system, so it'll be easier for me to identify on a dark stage which button I need to run over to my pedal and hit. So the astute observer may have noticed when we were in the rename menu, press down like it's a button on the preset knob, go into rename preset. We named it clean, but down here it says switch LED. So I'm going to pull back so you can see as I turn it, you can see the switch changing colors as I turn the knob to all these different colors. So what I want to do for my clean is set it to blue because I have a chorus on it. So now I have blue. For my dirt snapshot, I want to set that one to orange to match the color of the dirt pedals, light orange. I'm going to save it. So now we have orange and blue. You can see they light up. I want the lead to be red, which it is already red, but I want it to be red even when it's not selected. Just like when these are not selected, they're a dimmer version, but they're still colored. So I still know this is going to be clean and this is going to be dirt. I need this one to be red even when it's dim. So let's switch over to lead, go back into rename. And if I change this to red and save it, now when I move off of it, it stays lit up red. So now, not only do I have names on my scribble strips, but I have colors on the rings. Now, if you have a Helix LT, of course, you don't have scribble strips, so these colors will be even more important to help color code your snapshots so you can help remember what they're set to. But I'm going to press home to go back to my main screen, and now we're going to save coup preset again. I just pressed the save button twice.